There seems to be a new strategy being employed in the race for the White House these days, as Governor Mitt Romney seems to be courting the so-called Clinton Democrats, with the presumptive Republican nominee lavishing praise on the former president. You can hear him touting Bill Clinton's boom-era centrist policies and then contrasting them with President Obama's. And the Clinton Democratic voting bloc in swing states could wind up deciding this election. Is this a good strategy for Governor Romney? Joining us now, Tucker Carlson, editor of the Daily Caller and a Fox News contributor, and Marjorie Clifton, former consultant to President Obama's campaign and the principal of Clifton Consulting. Welcome to both of you. Tucker Carlson, a Republican presidential nominee praising Bill Clinton. Did you ever think you would hear such a thing?
And not just a nominee, but someone who was recently attacked by Bill Clinton. Remember, Clinton just cut this ad saying of Mitt Romney that he wouldn't have killed Osama bin Laden, an ad he cut on behalf of Barack Obama. So you have to swallow a lot if you're Mitt Romney to compliment a guy who would do that to you. And yet it makes sense. I mean, the bottom line fact is the Clintons, particularly Hillary Clinton, are more popular with a lot of working-class Democrats right now than Obama is, especially in swing states, places like Arkansas, West Virginia. It's overwhelming. So it does make a kind of sense.
All right. So, the fact that Republicans so despised President Clinton when he was in office, at least a great many of them did, does he risk, Marjorie, does he risk alienating Republican voters in a bid to attract independents?
Well, this entire thing is a little bit preposterous because in January 2011, President Obama came out and praised President Reagan for some of his policies and the way that he managed the presidency. I can't imagine that they saw that as a tactic to drive between the Republican Party and win independents. In the same way, if I went out and said, I love Tucker Carlson, he's one of the most amazing people, that's not going to win me all men wearing pink and blue ties. This is not a categorical thing, and I think that...
Oh, but that's actually not true. I think that would go a long way to endearing you to them.
I may employ that, But in all seriousness, I mean, the idea that his praising President Clinton is going to win that voting bloc is a little bit, I mean, let's give voters a little bit more credit in their critical thinking about the timing and the strategy behind this. And, you know, as Tucker pointed out, right now it's sort of I don't think that this in itself is going to win the Republican Party as well. Romney's already on a little bit of soft footing with those ultra-conservatives. This will push him towards the middle and make him look a little bit more reasonable, but I don't think that that's going to win that group.
But those conservatives aren't going to vote for President Obama, are they, Tucker?
No, they're not. And Romney, it's been an amazing turnaround, actually. Of course, it took many months and a lot of grueling and bitter argument before Romney sewed up the nomination. And yet, the second he did, he got 90%, at least according to polls, of Republicans behind him. That's a function of their dislike for President Obama. I would say, of course, it's true that he's not going to win a lot of Democrats with this line of argument. But there's a specific demographic, there's a specific group, you saw it in the 2008 election, of partisan Democrats who really actually don't like President Obama so much. Take a look at the election returns, again, in West Virginia and Arkansas. Take a look at the Democratic primaries in those states this year. There are a lot of disaffected Democrats. They do like Clinton much more than Obama, and maybe he can peel some off.
We took a look at the numbers of independent voters who went for the various candidates back in '92 and in '96. You had Ross Perot in this race. In 1992, President Clinton got 38% of them. In 1996, the president got 43% of them, which may be why you're hearing this line from Mitt Romney
yeah, but...
Go ahead, Marjorie.
I would add, though, you're looking at just even the policies. Obama's policies and Clinton's policies, especially on social matters like same-sex marriage or equal and fair pay, or I should say taxes rather, this is a far more, their policies are far more complementary than they are different. And I don't know that that brings
You're saying that the president who instituted Don't Ask, Don't Tell is very much in line with the president who says gay marriage is okay?
Well, one of his premier platforms was fairness to the gay population, and so that is, from a social standpoint, more like than Mitt Romney, who says this is destroying the fabric of America's families. So that's, I mean, that's a little bit diverging. And you know, when you talk about the things that Romney's supporting him on. There's more likeness in the Clinton administration and the Obama administration than there is in the Romney administration. And from a strategic standpoint, you have to look at it. Bill Clinton went after Obama ferociously during the 2008 elections. That still did not do anything to really divide Democrats in the end, and they still won the election.
All right, Marjorie Tucker Carlson, it's Marjorie Clifton and Tucker Carlson. Man alive, I can't wait for Friday. Thank you both.
When Marjorie said she liked Tucker's tie.